everyone, and welcome to another episode of Impctrs Out Loud. Me, Tracy V. Allen, and today we have Hadijah with us. Hadijah is our guest today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Hadijah, and then Hadijah is going to tell you about herself and what she has going on in her organization. So Hadijah is the founder and team leader at Community Women's Network, Enterprise Network in Uganda. It's a nonprofit organization with a vision of seeing more women lead businesses with products and services on the market by majorly focusing on providing support and co-shared product spaces, packaging, sales and marketing, distribution channels, mentoring, and networking platforms. That is a big deal. That's huge, right? Women do need that type of support. And she, again, like I said, is out of Uganda. And so she runs this network for women who want to get into business, who want to change their lives and elevate to the next level. They provide all of the support that these women need. So thank you, Hadijah. Thank you for being here today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and, what got you into this line of work.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for hosting me on Impctrs Loud podcast. Yeah, my name is Hadijah. I'm from Uganda, somewhere in East Africa. We are described as being in the sub-Saharan region. And our country is the pearl of Africa. Beautiful weather, hot and wet throughout the year. It can rain in the morning, and in the afternoon, the sun is out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a social entrepreneur, and I can tell you I love this work. How did I jump into this? I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So in my family, I'm the person who is always doing something, right? So, when you have people who are so much into study hard, get a good job, and, make a career out of yourself. I wasn't that person. I've always been doing something since my high school vacation. I ran an internet cafe near a college,
Really?
That's how I knew. Yes, entrepreneurship.
Okay, yeah. I've noticed that, though. That seems to be a theme that a lot of entrepreneurs that I speak to, they started really young. They started before they became adults. They were already participating in some type of entrepreneurship venture, whether it was selling candy in school or, something. They were always doing something. So that's interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so along the way, I got like a light bulb moment. So around 2011, I won a fellowship to come to the United States. So I was a volunteer in an organization that was supporting women who had moved within Uganda. Uganda had a civil war for like 25 years. So the ladies had moved away from their place and come to the city, but the inner city, kind of like the slums. So they were practicing quarrying. They would get stones, smash them into huge stones, smash them into smaller stones, and then make heaps and sell them like that. So there was this organization that was supporting them to use recycled paper and make beads. Yeah, so I was a volunteer, and also it shows that that's my entrepreneurship. So as a volunteer, just trying to help them sell their beads locally, coordinate with the founders. And through that position, I won a fellowship to go to the United States for about 5 months. So when I came to the United States, I was placed in Kansas City, Missouri, and I was working for the Women Enterprise Center and the Women Employment Network. So it was like a coalition of about 3 organizations: the employment side, Capital Connection, and Business Center. That was my light bulb moment. Why? I saw firsthand how women in the United States achieve success because they have support.
Gotcha.
When I came back to Uganda, I made a conscious decision. I worked for 1 year in 2012, and I quit my job in 2013. I quit my job, and that is how my journey of founding Community Women's Enterprise Network starts. I made a decision to open up a space first, a safe space, to a resource space where youth and women entrepreneurs can come in and get support. Then I didn't even know how, but I knew that this is what I want to do. for the rest of my
Okay.
life. So that's the journey. I
Mhm.
started Community Women's Enterprise Network. And to give you a little bit of a background, Uganda is an agro-based economy. We depend on agriculture almost 70%.
Okay.
And in that sector, it's
Mhm.
youth and women who offer, like, again, the highest percentage of labor, but they earn the least. So our space is focused on that. We
Okay.
leverage on their expertise, their indigenous knowledge to support them build products, mainly from the agricultural value chain, so that they can bring them onto the market. Yeah. So
Okay.
that explains what you're reading in my background. Yeah.
Okay.
So we support them with
Mhm.
our core work is called Women on the Shelf. So imagine that,
Women on the
we want to
shelf.
see as many products made by women on the
Uh-huh.
shelves in
Okay.
kiosks, shops, stores, supermarkets, name it. Yeah. If Target
Awesome.
can give us a chance, we can bring it to Target in the United States.
Gotta pitch Target. Um,
Yes.
so exactly how do you go about that? Do you have, since you said it's an agriculture-based economy or agriculture-based society, and you're trying to get women on the shelves through agriculture, so I'm assuming food-based products, most of the products are food-based. Do you
Yes.
have like a commercial kitchen? Do you help them with packaging, making sure that the food is preserved and safe for consumption at a later time? What is that process like?
So first of all, because of the way we are set up, there's a lot of post-harvest losses. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
lot of food that goes to waste. So that
Mm.
alone is an opportunity. But how
Mhm.
we go about women on the shelf, we have a core shared processing facility where you can come,
Mhm.
develop your product, process it, package, branding, marketing. We are huge on branding and
Okay.
packaging because they said our locally made products were not presented very well. So if you saw some of the
I think
products
that's
we're making,
everywhere
some
though.
people yes, some people believe they are imported. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, we are really huge on that.
Hmm.
Yeah. We
Hmm.
wanted to support women because they're offering you value,
Right.
not out of sympathy,
Hmm.
because when you go to buy like a soda or any other soft drink, you just pick it off the shelf. You don't ask
Right.
who made it. So we want women to have that mentality, make a
Mhm.
product of value so that I'll pay for it. Yeah. So we go through that. We've also had a project where we are training youth again to become quality controllers so that the women and other people in Uganda can
Mhm.
have access to qualified staff to help them in their production processes until you reach certification. What you would term as maybe up to your FDA, NDA, or something. So we have also regulations here by the government of Uganda.
Mhm.
So we have all that in one package. When you come to us, we want to see you flourish. Come up with your product and name it. So over the years, we've had almost 400 products come through our
Wow.
support system. Mhm.
Oh,
Yes,
that's nice.
yes.
So, when these women come to you, are they referred to you? Are they finding you? How are you connecting with people who want to get their products on the shelf or take their products from being produced in their home to being produced commercially?
So we are deeply rooted in communities. We really have our ears on the ground.
Mhm.
When we started our work, we were going to the communities. Currently, we get a lot of referrals, even
Okay.
across the borders from
Mhm.
Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
like in the East African countries. So
Okay.
people believe we have really set what they call support in the
Mhm.
most practical way.
Mhm.
If you walked into our offices right now, and even if you needed just one thing, probably it could be about where can I find this or anything. We've done the work so that when you come to us, we
Mhm.
almost have all the answers, or we are going to refer you somewhere. And we've seen that really, really work. Yeah.
Mhm.
So people come to us either in groups or individuals. In Uganda, we have a lot of like co-ops, cooperatives,
Mhm.
uh, savings groups, and also individual entrepreneurs. So a group could be about average of 20 to 25 people. And some of these groups also have men. Maybe they are farmers. They
Mhm.
have one crop that they grow that is uh, common within themselves, and then they want to add value to it. So we also support those, but we also support individual entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Okay. So when they come to your establishment, are they paying an upfront fee? Are you taking a percentage of their gross profits? How does that component work?
So we are member-based organization. So if you come to us, our annual subscription is an equivalent of $30 a year. And then you can access our services. Yes, because we are an enterprise support organization, but wouldn't want to also be doing work for free. So we are very, very intentional. Yeah.
Very good. I'm so happy you said that. You can't do work for free, okay?
Yes.
You can't help other people and then you're suffering yourself. That's not how it works. So I'm glad that you said that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then you'll have access to our services. We have a lot going on. We do lots of events. So we have a hashtag called CWEN Meets. We launched it around 2019. So these are smaller, intimate events where an entrepreneur would host us, either their business premises or home. 10 to 15 people. People get to know each other, connect, see how they can support each other. But also, entrepreneurship is hard. We need to let our hair down sometimes, you know?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have something called dinner and discussions for that same reason. So we meet once a week and we eat dinner virtually and we discuss business and get to know each other and make collaborations. So that is very, very, very important. Yes. Because it can be isolating to be an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Very, very isolating. And it can really be challenging. You know, sometimes you hit rock bottom. But when you have a community you belong to and you feel supported, that's the only way you're going to overcome the challenges you're facing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So for $30 per year, they get you to help them with their branding. So creating their logos, their color schemes, their fonts, getting their labels together, packaging, access to your commercial kitchen, quality control, and pitching their stuff to be put on shelves. So you help them with the pricing and everything. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely like, I'm serious. So that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a little. Well, I mean, what we consider to be a little here, which happens to be a lot in Uganda, because obviously for you to be able to do all of that with $30 a year, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell us about some success stories that you have had with some clients.
Well, I have two stories. One, we'll start with our youngest entrepreneur. So before the onset of COVID, a young woman was brought to our office. Why? She was a digital marketing student, but she didn't have enough transport to take her to her classes. And so my colleague at work said, okay, you can come and help us at our office, but then we shall be giving you transport to go to your job, to go to your training, because she was studying in the evenings. And she said, okay. So, but we also have this culture. If you came to us, we dig deeper. So I sat her down and told her, what do you want to do in life? She's like, oh, my guardian really wants me to do digital marketing because she believes it's one of the skills right now where it can really get me some income currently. But my passion is hair. I'm like, okay, are you serious? I say, oh, well, I have contacts, right? If you want to do hair, we are going to support you to go to a hair school. And she said, okay, if I go to the hair school to study, I want to produce a hair care line. I'm like, good. So she went to school for about 8 months to the hair school, and then she started her hair care line. So she started with avocado oil. Right now, I can tell you she has 7 products onto the market, right? She has opened up a hair salon. She's 23, employing about 7 people.
That is amazing. That is a good success story.
So when we had all the boot camps and everything, we encouraged her to be part of our programming. She was very timid, could not even speak, but she had a very keen eye, and she had already learned how to make content.
Right, because she was studying digital marketing. Very, and that's huge, right? That she had that advantage. Yes, that's huge.
So she has never looked back. So I can tell you, support really helps, and holding somebody's hand along the way, each step. Because what really happens, we have a lot of training programs. They train someone for 1 week and let them go. We do a lot of mentorship, follow on. We have tough love. We give you
Yes.
tough love.
And see what
If
you're
you say
saying,
you're going
I
to do
agree with
something,
100%. When I do trainings for social entrepreneurs, social enterprises, and nonprofits, that's one of the things I talk about. When you're creating your programmatic outlines, you have to think about what happens after that person leaves your program. So they leave your program and you just throw them out to the wind and that's it. You never see them again. No, you have to have that follow on because somebody learned something or they excelled at it while they were with you does not mean that they have the mentality or the continuing skills to continue to be successful. Sometimes somebody needs you to come back and hold their hand again, right? Or they may need some words of encouragement, or they may need some follow-on services that you don't provide. But like you said, you have those connections that you can refer them to another agency to get what they need. So that is pivotal. And I think a lot of people miss that component when they are thinking about their programs, is that the program or your assistance to that particular person doesn't just end with the program. You have to have follow-up, whether you decide to do your follow-ups monthly, quarterly, biannually, but you need to make sure that that person is staying on track. Because like we just talked about, business is isolating and it is tedious and it can become extremely overwhelming, right? And so, yes, they may be doing great now and they have their stuff on the shelf, but then you let them go and life happens, right? Life happens. And when life happens, people tend to get down and depressed and business tends to fall off. So having somebody who comes back out and says, hey, just checking in to see what's going on. Is there anything that we can do for you? Is such a big deal.
Very big. And then, like you said, life happens. So we've made our office a free space. So always tell people, if you're in the neighborhood, you're passing by, come by for a cup of tea, coffee. Come. Some people just want to talk, you know. So if we are creating services for women entrepreneurs and youth, we really have to also understand that life happens. So they always joke about us, the way we eat or cook. So whatever we are eating that day is what you're eating, right?
Okay. Awesome.
Make it as free and open as possible.
And you said you have helped 300 women?
We have almost, the women we've reached 5,385.
5,385. And tell us, how does this change that woman's life, her family's life, and then what is the ripple effect that happens within the community?
Wow. That is so interesting, because we look at everyone starting from the farmer. Imagine a farmer was ready with the produce and then somebody's there to buy it. Imagine, when you produce and then I'm there to buy your raw material. So that's where it starts from, The women we support, our goal is to see them thrive, succeed, and also be part of the mainstream economy. They pay tax. They're supporting, you pay tax. You're creating jobs along the way. In Uganda, we have a kind of a public transport. It's a motorbike,
Okay.
The motorbike.
Yes.
So now they've gone into the delivery services. Yeah. So many of them are being supported by small businesses. You're already creating jobs that are increasing people's incomes, right? You can ably take care of yourself, your family, just having like that livelihood where you are, okay, I can stand on my own. Because every time I see that young lady I've been talking about, I feel so proud. I just say, okay, I can even retire right now, because I know at least I've done something right.
Right.
And also building the confidence. The women we have, even if they are rural, when they go for exhibitions, because of the way we train them to present themselves, people don't even believe it. They can stand firmly, talk about their products with confidence because of how, the programming, the mentorship they've been through, but also their products are awesome. People look at them and they just say, okay, now we made so much in sales and everything, we want to increase more. But we tell them, you know why? Because of how you're presenting yourself. So for me, I look at it from the farmer up to the household, government, my government earns taxes, because now we have so many new taxes, even if you're a small entrepreneur, that you're required. Formalization of businesses, women thinking about legacies. If I had my business and God forbid I'm not here tomorrow, what can happen? We are women. We nurture, support everyone, and forget ourselves a lot. Bringing in all that and making them understand, okay, you are also someone, you are doing this, but you can also create something that is going to be there for the next 20, 30 years, So
Is that
all
something
the
that
dots
you,
connect.
right? Is that something that you encourage the women to do, is legacy building, getting their family members, especially their children, involved in the different aspects of the business, so that if anything happens to them, they're able to take over and continue to grow and make a living?
Exactly, yeah. Because most of us most times we have our little capital, we start working and then we keep quiet. Not even your sister would know about anything you're doing, which is very, very dangerous,
Yes.
very, very dangerous. Yeah, anything can happen to you. Just making them understand the formalization, what that means. Because we've been told, which is so funny, when there's a call for anything, if a man ticked 50%, they would apply. A woman disqualifies themselves and when they have 90. They say, I'm not applying for this.
Right.
Just building that confidence and say, you are fit, you are in, go in there. But also afterwards, what's going to happen? You've registered your business now. Even making them think of like, okay, what is your company? What company name comes to your mind? What do you want your brand to be, sound like? Let everybody remember this brand.
Yeah.
You see, we come from a culture, we are very, very humble and modest people. So they're like, okay, yeah, maybe you can help me think. You're like, no. Go back home and think about this and then bring it back to me.
Exactly. Because it has to come from their heart, because it's their brand. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. How many people do you have on your team helping with the different facets of what you do?
Right now, I have an amazing team of 10. Yeah.
Oh,
amazing
nice.
team of 10.
What are the roles? Tell us a little bit about like how the company works.
Okay, from I lead the team. We have head of programs, finance, food technicians, food specialists. We have an environment and sustainability advisor, IT and community manager, and of course administration. So that is how we play the roles. But on a given day, you might find me at an exhibition selling away. I love selling.
Your sustainability manager, that is an interesting role. Tell me a little bit about that, what that person is responsible for, and how it plays into the greater effect of being a social enterprise.
So she's our environment and sustainability advisor. And actually, she's a volunteer. So, but when she came in, and what's happening right now around the world, and especially on the African continent, I think we don't contribute the biggest effects on climate change, but then we are affected the most. So as entrepreneurs, they really have to be, first of all, conscious about what they are bringing onto the market and how that plays back into the environment. So we've brought that, so from how you grow your food, how it's coming onto the market, and then how people are adding value to it. So we are really, really saying, okay, it is also our job to make resources or design tools, make them as easy as possible, interpret them at the easiest level, and then train our people in the community, even the wider community, that, okay, this is the effect a business can have on the environment, and what are you doing about it? Especially the young people. We have a very young population. Our median age is 16.5. So it's a little bit scary. Yeah, in Uganda, we are very, very young.
What?
Yes.
16.5?
Yes, 16.5.
I don't think I've ever heard that before anywhere.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot to do with the youth, because the elder population isn't really there to support them. So you have to make them ready to get out here and be adults and take over. Wow, that is amazing.
Exactly.
Okay. But what you just said really applies to the whole social entrepreneurship or enterprise model, because you have the triple bottom, right? Which is the three P's: people, planet, and profit. So you're supporting the people by helping them to make more money, build a legacy, build businesses. You're helping the planet with your sustainability person, making sure that there's little to no food waste, and that, from farming to table, basically, that there's a efficient process going on. And then the profit component, of course, so once they're on the shelves, they're making money, and it has that ripple effect, hopefully, through their family and down into their kids. So that is amazing. What, if you had to let us know, what makes you an impactor? Why are you an impactor?
Well, that really excites me because I believe I'm an impactor because when I set out to do this work, I didn't say I'm going to do it for myself. I've always seen myself saying, if a woman entrepreneur is successful, I'm successful. I don't need to be a billionaire. Yeah, I always tell them that if I saw you like buying a private jet, I would be okay. I'm an impactor because I believe one woman's life changed could change another 50, could change another 100. We train one woman, she will train a whole village, right? So the ripple effects of the work that I do, I have been so lucky to see them happen, in my lifetime.
In your lifetime.
So I'll give an example. Yeah. Our oldest member is 94 years. Yeah.
Wow.
She's building a community museum. She has 4 products on the market, and her back is still as straight as a pen, as a roller. I can tell you.
Really? That's
she
amazing.
Transfers knowledge to people. She's a health and nutrition trainer. She has never been to a hospital, but because she eats our local food, and she has transformed that into healthy salts. She has our indigenous vegetables are packaged very well, our indigenous spices. She makes all these herbal medicines. But through her, we took her on TEDx. Yeah, she spoke and gave got a standing ovation. That was around 2016, I think. Yeah. We took her on the world stage. She made this speech, and she made it in our local language, but we had interpreters, of course. And everybody had never seen a woman like that, right? But all over East Africa, people are coming now to Uganda. People come on the bus to learn from this one person. What does that mean? When they go back home, they are really transferring that knowledge. So I believe an impactor does that. Life is just not about you. My life is for youth and women entrepreneurs in Uganda. And I believe it's going to transcend countries. Like maybe go outside my country, South Africa, go to Morocco, Nigeria, and all that. Not just doing work for me, but believing it's going to go on for generations.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I forgot to ask one question. What is the medium salary for a person in Uganda to live a decent life in American money? What would that be?
If somebody earned about $500, that's a net minus taxes. That would be a little bit decent. But because more often than not, our average spend, we are below $2 a day, give or take.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's good to know. So a little can go a long way. What are 3 things that you would tell a woman looking to start a community like you did, whether that person lives in Africa or they live in the United States or the Caribbean or any other country for that matter of fact? What 3 things would you tell them about getting started as a social enterprise, a social entrepreneur, building a community that focuses on getting women to build legacy businesses?
1, it's passion. I can tell you that. If I wasn't passionate enough, sometimes I want to throw in the towel. Why? Because I always don't have enough resources to support the opportunities that I see. So it really drives me crazy. So I always tell people at my job, I'm going to become a housewife. And they all laugh, because I feel like there's so much I can do, but I'm always challenged by resources. So if you don't have the passion, do not even bother. Because why? It's hard.
Yes.
But one little thing can really make you feel so good, and you're like, okay, at least I've achieved that. So the passion keeps me going. Two, you are in this for the long haul. If you just saying you're going to do this today and then see results tomorrow, forget that. Forget that. Because it's always hard. But at the end of the day, if your vision is for the a longer time, you're going to see results. I've started seeing results. We are making 10 almost. I've started seeing results almost now, and I feel confident, very confident to speak about them. When I was doing this work, I was just like, okay, so what am I doing? But after a decade, I can say, wow, I have done it. The third thing, build community. Community is everything. I'll give you an example. If I go to any other countries, mainly in Africa or East Africa, I know people there because of my work. I may not stay in a hotel because I have someone, or even if I'm in a hotel, I'm meeting different people because of the community I've built. So be intentional with building community. That's key. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. What is your ask? How can people support your organization, and where can they go to support your organization?
Well, thank you. Currently, we are expanding our co-shared processing facility, and we are running a fundraising campaign. We would like to equip it better because of the need. The need is very overwhelming. We would like to equip it better, the staff, the equipment, accessibility. So we are raising money currently on DonorBox, and I'll share the link with you. And then, that is our ask right now. I'll tell you something interesting. So we have an e-commerce platform.
Wait,
sorry.
How much are you looking to raise?
We are looking to raise $30,000 to equip and equip and staff our co-shared processing facility.
Okay.
So an interesting thing before we close, I wanted to tell you, we have an e-commerce platform. So those are the ripple effects you're asking for. So we are very intentional. Our office space is also a shop, because there's women learn how to do retail. So when you deliver, you have a delivery note, an invoice, and everything. You practice like that. So last year, through that shop and our e-commerce platform, we made sales on behalf of women close to $15,000.
Nice.
So it means that our model really works. So from start to finish, because women always say, okay, sometimes it's really hard to find markets and everything.
Right.
And you're like, okay, start with us. Let us help you sell and see. And it has happened.
Do you ship outside the Do you ship outside of Uganda?
Yes, to the neighboring countries. Yes, we've only shipped to the United States because somebody can order something and tell us, oh, my friend is coming, my cousin is coming, or my coworker is coming. Kindly help me ship this and what, because we have the platform. And then, because the payments have been made easy now. I can easily receive money from the United States. And but the shipping through, like, say, the channels like DHL and what, it's still a little bit expensive, like to ship products to the United States. But we find our way of how to products get there.
Okay, Hadijah, thank you so much for being my guest today. It was great learning about all of the good work that you're doing and the ripple effect that it's causing within your community. Thank you again for being a guest on Impctrs Out Loud. And until next time, everyone, have a great time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.